And I just had this idea because, like, I talked to a lot of people in the office, patients, and a lot of them tend to be older guys, more like, like our age. I say older, but like, man, I don't know. I go in there and I'm not sure what to train. And we've talked about this before. Programming is everything, man. Like, if you're not programmed or you don't have a plan, then you're wasting time.
Welcome to the Full Fueled Podcast. Welcome to the Full Fueled Podcast. Welcome to the podcast with your host, Matt Tack, with your host, Matt Tack.
Your host, Matt Tack.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Alfred Alessi.
Dr. Alfred Alessi.
Dr. Alfred Alessi.
They know by now, bro. They know by now.
I'm going to set what the new normal looks like in my life.
You're not limited by your genetics.
You have a superpower that is lifting people up. Dude, you look real.
The only way we're going to get the word out is with you. Live full fueled. Live beyond limits, baby. Let's go.
Yo. Welcome to another
yo.
podcast, Full Fueled Podcast, with your host, Matt Tack.
And your boy, Dr. Alfred Alessi.
These are live. If somebody wants to jump in too, but
live recording. Sweet.
Live recording. Live uploading. We're going to be talking about split routines for guys in their 30s. Is that right, Dr. Alessi?
Man, I just had this idea because, like, I talked to a lot of people in the office, patients, and a lot of them tend to be older guys, more like, like our age. I say older, but like, man, I don't know. I go in there and I'm not sure what to train. And we've talked about this before. Programming is everything, man. Like, if you're not programmed or you don't have a plan, then you're wasting time. Ultimately, I mean, you're not going to make gains. You might maintain, but for guys trying to make gains, man, or like, body composition changes, build some muscle, burn some fat. Programming is everything. So it's different if you have 5-6 days a week to train versus if you have 2 or 3 days a week to train, right? You're going to have to change the programming. So honestly, I think what came to me was like, why don't we just lay out how we would structure it for guys is basically free fitness programming. We're basically going to give away a little bit of our optimizers anabolic muscle program. This is the flagship program we have. We'll basically give this away to you guys. So we just want to share that and give you guys value, and hopefully, this helps. I mean, you train what, dude? 5 days a week? More?
Yeah. No, 5. I've dummied it down. I've actually taken breaks. Obviously, my goal was to pack on as much lean muscle supply as fast as possible. And so I did that, but there's obviously ramifications to that when you don't give your body a rest period. And I think I'm feeling that now. As I told you, I'm feeling it like a little bit in my knees. Obviously going heavy, like probably 4 times a week isn't probably the best thing, but you do pack out some muscle mass when you do that, right?
Yeah.
So the reality is like your body also needs that like break period. And so, I probably am right at that 4 to 5 days a week range now.
We were doing the same thing, and then I dialed mine back to probably 3 days of like lifting, and then 3 days of more like functional sport specific cardio type stuff. And I've actually been getting better gains. And I think that kind of goes back to the whole concept of our anabolic muscle program is less is more, right? Like, you think like these guys go into the gym 6 days a week and they're just tearing it down. Your body doesn't have time to recover if you're working out every single day, and it's heavy, especially, right? So, the anabolic program that we have built out for the optimizers is a 3-day split. It starts off with 2 days, actually, 2 days a week. There's obviously built-in trigger sessions on the off days, which is light. But like the full workouts, the foundational workouts, it's 2 days a week and then 3 days a week towards the end. So it's like you're getting a ton of volume on those days, but you're getting a lot of rest as well. And so you actually get better gains through this program. I mean, if you go through the 3 months, man, it's a great program. Versus like our split program that we have, which is more so for like a every single day training, 5, 6, 7, even 7 days a week, but you're not training every muscle every day, right? You're doing like a push day. You're doing like a pull day, maybe like more back. You're doing maybe a posterior chain leg day. And then you're doing more like a quad dominant leg day. And then more of like a functional day. Right. And so it's definitely split up. So it just, again, it depends on the time the person has, but let me do this. Let me pull it up and I'm going to kind of walk through. Let's start with the split. And so it goes through phases, man. And so like, if you're listening, this is ultimately, if you have 6 days a week to get in the gym, this is what I would do, or this is what we would do. This is what we have for you, right? So day 1, basically your foundational workout, right? And so it goes through different phases in all of our programs. The phase 1 is always going to be the first month, more strength based. So higher loads of weight, less reps, longer rest periods, right? Phase 2 is a little bit more hypertrophy based. So it's going to be higher rep ranges, a little bit lighter on the weight, lighter rest. And then you get into the pump phases towards the end. But regardless, this is how the split would be as far as like body parts. I think that's kind of what people want to hear. So say it's day 1, Monday, right? Barbell bench press, incline barbell bench press, dips, military press, which is like an overhead barbell, an upright row, rear delt rows, and then close grip bench and skull crushers. So it's basically a push day, right? So Monday's your push. You're going to do basically chest and shoulders and triceps. Tuesday, right? This is going to be, now you're getting legs. So barbell squat, front squat, leg press, some hyperextensions, like reverse hypers for glutes, calves, standing and seated, right? So basically more like a posterior kind of leg day. Day 3, Wednesday, deadlifts, pull-ups, seated cable row, shrugs, curls, hammer curls, reverse crunch, decline sit-up. So now that's your pull day, right? So you're getting a little back, biceps, and you're getting some abs. Day 4, this would be Thursday. Another chest day, right? So back to push. So you're basically kind of going through that cycle again, but different exercise this time. Alternating incline dumbbell chest press, flat dumbbell chest press, flat bench fly, seated alternating Arnold press, seated alternating laterals, a rear single arm cable flies, alternating dumbbell skull crushers, and a one arm over the head tricep extension. So basically another push day.
Yeah. So what they do there is they transition. I obviously have gone through this, but what I like about it is they use bar work on one day and then more dumbbell action on another day.
And like isolated kind of single arms. Yeah, I like that a lot. So one day is a little bit more, bilateral, and one day is more like unilateral. Mm-hmm. Day, where are we at now? Okay, day 5. So this would be like Friday. Bulgarian split squat, right? So similar concept, you're splitting it. Walking lunges, single leg deadlift, standing one-legged calf raise, seated one-legged calf raise. And then day 6, you're going to go back to pulls. So dumbbell row, single arm lat pull down, alternating bent over row, alternating dumbbell curls, concentration dumbbell curls, reverse crunches, and decline sit-ups. So yeah, it's basically the day 1 through 3 is push, then legs, then pull with more of a bilateral barbell approach. And then 4, 5, 6 is push, legs, pull with a more of a unilateral approach. I love this split routine. Day 7 is it's an optional. I mean, I would say active recovery, walking, maybe light sport, but it also has some mobility stuff built in there too. So that honestly is a freaking awesome split routine for anyone who's looking to, get a ton of muscle work, really focus certain body parts, and has obviously the ability to train 6-7 days a week. So you have anything to add, man?
No, I think that's a great approach. Everyone
Here
just
you go. Here's our program for free.
The planning piece is obviously getting it into the schedule and when is that time when you're going to do it. I think that becomes the non-negotiable in play of like, all right, I got to get it in. I got to get it in a finite period of time. Those are like the 45-minute type workouts, 45-minute an hour. It really shouldn't take you in excess of an hour. So what Alfie didn't mention was like how many sets you program into that.
Yeah, it's going to vary based on what phase of this program you're in. I just basically gave the split routine, how we would split it up. It gets a lot more detailed if you're talking like strength. It's going to be 3 to 6 reps.
That's in our app. Everything's
in
basically
our app.
built
exactly.
On our app.
Yeah, and then if you're hypertrophy, you're going to be 8 to 12 reps, right? 3 to 4 sets, so lighter rest. So it can be modded, which is cool. It's flexible.
Yeah, I've modded it. I'm actually going through a strength portion right now, where I've modded a little bit from our original programming that we built out into sets of 4. And then I'll do repetitions of it like 8. So I'll basically hit 32 reps on everything with a slight. It's always a superset with me though. So I'm usually supersetting between like yesterday was a push, but I would superset between I think like I was doing incline. Let's say I was doing incline press, and then I would immediately go over and do bench dip or dips. So not bench dips, I would do full dips, weighted dips. And so did that. And then I would go into another exercise where I would incorporate maybe like a core workout, as well as what else did I do? I'm just trying to think back what I did. I need to look at what I programmed in, but, everything that I ended up programming, I think I did flat bench too. Yeah. In tight grip, flat bench.
Nice.
And did that, and then did a core exercise in between that, which was a rope pull down. So those things are they speed up the workout too for me. That's what I love about this is like our programming that we have is that you can grab onto something that is maybe a push and then incorporate a core in there. So you can get back to another push without exacerbating or exhausting yourself for the next set. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's one big thing that we have for the programming piece that I've had like gains like crazy. But it's also in part of the optimization process. I've probably gained, I got to get a DEXA too. Cause I'd be curious on how much, I didn't get it. I should have got a DEXA right before I started earlier this year when I was about, I think I was 178. Right now I'm sitting 205. And as far as I'm pretty sure I'm keeping it relatively, I think I'm probably, if I had to guess, I didn't do any calipers recently, but I would probably be 11% body fat. Whereas like when I was 178, I was below 6. So
yeah,
I was super, super lean, obviously have bulked up, and with bulking up, you're putting on excess, a little bit more fat, but I'm still maintaining a leanness to me, while bulking.
In the amount of time that you bulked pretty quick, right? It's a matter of a few months, right? I mean, to bulk quickly,
Well,
you've got to eat more calories, and it's usually more carbohydrates is the energy.
Carbohydrates is for sure the energy. I also, with my carbohydrate sources, I'm pretty strategic on those as well. So it's not something where I'm like, it's going to be chips or stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's going to be usually white rice. Something that's easily broken down, sweet potatoes and typically mashed, or cubed up, something soft where my body can recognize it, break it down rather easily so that I can use it more efficiently. So that's ultimately how I've done it. But the programming, go back to the programming piece, has been huge from a strength training component. One thing, though, that I am incorporating in now, because of what I let you know, is like it's kind of like more injury related. I'm getting it like some level of like neuropathy, and for sure it's my low back, and I'm feeling it in my knees all the way down to my heels, and it's bothering me when I play sport. So what I decided to do was get away from anything on the overhead. So like I'm not putting anything on my back for probably a period of a month. I'm not going to put anything in my back, and I'm going to go strictly machine weights for all my strength training based sessions now.
Yeah, lunges, pulls, you'll be fine with that. You're not going to compress anything. And then obviously we'll fix you at the office. But all right, so that's basically how I would split up if you had 6 days a week to train, right? If you're a guy who's got the time, maybe you work from home, maybe you're an entrepreneur or whatever, and you want to put that kind of work in, that split routine is going to get you some pretty awesome results. Let's talk about the anabolic program. This is like our main one that any guy who starts our optimizers program is going to go through, because it's going to build the most amount of muscle in the shortest amount of time. It's a 90-day program. It goes through 3 months. I'm just going to give them kind of the first month. And then, if people go through this and they like it, they should contact us and we'll get you in, and we'll get you on month 2, 3. Basically it's 2 different foundational workouts. If you have 2 days a week to train, you would do one day and then the other day, right? The other option is if you have 3 days a week to train, you would just repeat day 1, and you would go day 1, 2, 1, The next week would be 2, 1, 2, right? And you would just kind of back and forth them. On the off days is when you're doing what are called our trigger sessions, which is basically you're doing lightweight band work focused on a specific body part for 15 to 20 reps, no more than 2 to 3 sets. The concept is you're neurologically stimulating your muscles, but not taxing them, right? Not breaking them down. You're just giving like a signal to the muscle that, hey, like stay active, stay awake. The muscle will repair faster. The muscle will keep more like alive, right? The mitochondria will be healthier. You'll build that muscle faster. So that's on the off days. But day 1 looks like box squats, barbell squats, bench press, weighted pull-ups, barbell shrugs, barbell curls, barbell skull crushers, weighted decline sit-up, and a standing calf raise. And so, that's a pretty full body workout. You're getting push, pull, legs, calves. You're kind of getting everything. Day 2 is a little bit more of a pull kind of focused legs. It's good mornings, barbell deadlifts, standing overhead barbell press, rear delt flies, standing dumbbell shrugs, dumbbell hammer curls, dumbbell overhead tricep extensions, hanging leg raises, and seated calf raises. So it's just similar, but just different exercises to kind of hit different points. But the concept is 2-3 days a week of full body versus the other one is splitting it up so you can train every single day. So both are great for muscle building. There's 2 different lifestyles, right? I mean, you and I have gone through phases where like I can train 3 days a week. Now I'm at a point where I can train 6 days a week if I wanted to, right? I make the time. But then we do go through phases, right? Maybe you're having a busy season and you're like, man, like I'm not going to be able to get in. Let me shift to more of a full body split. So it's good to have options for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely having the days for sure. This is a season that's a little bit more busy. So 6 days is just not in the repertoire right now in terms of business and everything we got going on.
Right.
So then that dummies it down into definitely a 4 to 5 day for me. I'm not going to be doing anywhere from like 6 to 7. The one thing is that we talked about in a previous episode too, is like gearing up your strength training and all your anabolic, towards the hobby, of choice. So, whether it's golf, whether you play softball, whether you play basketball, whatever it is, gearing up those activities when you're in the gym, with the intents and the purposes of performing at a higher level, in your hobby. And so those are the things that I would like highly recommend. I know that one thing that isn't in there is elevated heel squats. And those might kind of fall a little bit more in line with the box squats. But
I think for sake of like ease, this is just a foundation, right? This is like a rubric. Now, if you want to swap barbell squats for elevated heel squats, be my guest, right? If you want to swap barbell curls for easy bar curls or for preacher curls, like figure it out. This is, I'm more so that gets in a little bit into the weeds. This is more so just like, here's a rubric, like take this, for people who don't maybe know how to structure. I think a lot of people just don't know how to structure. They just, unless they have a program or they're working with a trainer, they walk into the gym without like any idea. They're like, oh, that looks cool. I'm gonna do that
at all.
Yeah. So having a structure
that's a major, it's a major issue in terms of going into the gym with intention and not sitting around and making sure it's active work, like a complete active workout. There are static workouts, and we talk about that all the time in terms of if you're at a machine for more than a minute, you don't need 3 minutes of rest between sets. That's for sure.
I saw the funniest video this guy posted. There's a guy sitting on the bench, and this guy's trolling people. Like this is what he's doing, and he's getting a ton of views on Instagram. But so some dude's sitting on the bench texting, and the guy walks up. The dude's got headphones in. He walks up. He goes, "Hey, how many texts do you have left?" And so the guy thinks he said sets, and he's like, "Oh, I got 2." He's like, "Oh, okay. Can I join in?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "All right, give me your number." He's like, "What?" He's like, "I said, how many texts do you have left? Give me your number." And the guy's like, "What the hell?" It's like he's like totally messing with him, but everyone's so confused. It's actually pretty funny.
That is funny. That is like so true though. Of just getting in and getting done, right? Just go in with a plan. and make sure that it's highly active in everything you do. It's not sitting around playing on your phone like after every set. I tell our guys, I was like, phones aren't even optional unless you have it on DND and then you're logging in the app and the app's open what your sets are. Like otherwise, don't even bring it in with you.
Yeah, your wife's fine, okay. But it's also like it's also like a respect thing too, I think, for other people in the gym. Like, you know, if someone's taking 3-minute rest sets because they're really working on strength and they're hitting, you know, 1 to 2 rep maxes and they're pushing out, yeah, for sure, take the rest. If you want to be on your phone in that rest period, do whatever you want. But if someone's asking to use the machine, you know, let them work in or something. But you know, I think that's where people get like weirded out about gym culture and stuff, is like, I feel weird asking. And, you know, there's always the one person who's going to kind of make it weird. So it's like, there's another dude out there, Joey Swole. You heard of him on Instagram? Yeah. I love that guy, man. He's like such a promoter of like positivity in the gym and gym culture. And like, you know, people are filming themselves and then they get mad if you walk in front of their camera, but it's like, bro, this isn't Hollywood. This isn't a freaking film studio. It's the gym. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the water fountain or something. Like, I'm going to walk it where I'm going to walk. Move your camera. Don't get mad at me, you know? And so he like totally rips these people up. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
We should get that guy on the show here, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be a good episode. That for sure. We'll reach out to him. We'll get him on the episode one of these days. All right. Any final programming tips before we conclude our live?
No, man, I feel like that's a good start for people, you know? Like if you don't know where to start and you want to build muscle, burn fat, do what I just told you. I literally just laid it out. So, and then if you want more on top of that, you go through that and you enjoy that kind of programming. That's what we have built out in our app and our optimizers program, which is basically our flagship program for guys who are 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, trying to get get rid of the dad bod and get that the athlete bod back. So
Jack bod.
Yeah, go from dad to jack.
Dad to jack. What we do in the optimizer program too is we build out the nutritional programming, balance you in on what the cadence of that looks like. We put you through a total body detox, and then we also optimize in terms of your blood work, where you should be at, where your levels should be at in terms of optimal health. So there's a lot of things that we've done. We've all guinea pigged ourselves on every single one of these things. Supplementation, everything that we're doing, we've used. And now we're promoting it to the students that we're actually taking through our program, which have seen a ton of success of just building the building blocks to optimal longevity and optimal health. So
I want to plug that pre-workout, if that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
let's do
you know,
it.
if you like pre-workouts and you want to try like a really quality pump focus and energy product, Thentic, it's called THENTIC. Thentic is the brand. And they got a really awesome pre-workout. I met this guy at the Fit Fest. He was sampling them. And then he said, "Hey man, would you want to like try a sample of this product and then maybe talk about it if you like it?" And he's cool. I think he's a pharmacist actually, but he started this supplement company kind of on the side. And he's trying to grow that. And he's just a good human. So, you know, I like supporting people who are in our kind of space and share similar values. So check out Thentic Nutrition. We don't get any, you know, kickback or anything from it. I just want to share that. So really cool product.
Yeah. And I like giving honest reviews. I like the boost that comes from Thentic, so we both used it. It's a great option. What I also love about it is that it's more of a clean side. So like all the ingredients are very clean. In it, there's a high level of caffeine. So if you're sensitive to caffeine,
yeah. So if you like that stim,
that's going to be for you.
It hits you,
but I would definitely say it's quality. I would say that the taste factor is in like probably the middle. Of like overall, like what it's not going to be like that super sugary pre-workout that you're going to get. It's just going to be a solid pre-workout that you can get. So it's middle of the road in terms of overall taste, but the overall quality is a 10 of the product. So I don't let taste deter you because at the end of the day, it's a really quality product that gets you a really.
It's naturally flavored, right? So it's like, you know, you can definitely tell there's no garbage. So I like that a lot. You know, it's super clean.
Yeah. And that's what we try to put into our body. So As always, this if you want to check out a couple more sources, we have Nutrition Solutions. We have a discount code for them, FullField15. So check them out if you're trying to get just optimize your daily cadence in terms of your nutrition. They got high protein meals, so go check them out. nutritionsolutions.com. FullField15 is the code over there. You can check out Spread Oaks. Get your meat delivered to your doorstep. High quality beef. I would definitely check them out. Spread Oaks Farms. You can put a discount code and get 25% off your first order. That's directly on their website. Go check them out. And last but not least, if you're in Tampa Bay and you want to get to a pain-free future and live just an optimized, optimal health, check out Alessi Functional Health. We got the best doctors on the planet over there that can give you guidance in terms of getting you to just your most optimal health. There was a lady that came in the other day that literally was crying. She was crying in the office.
She crawled in.
And what's that?
She crawled in. She could not walk, man. She left there walking. It was awesome.
Her son had to actually follow her there, make sure she got in all right to sit down, and then tell us the rest of the story.
Well, yeah, man. And man, another kid came in yesterday. This guy was he cleans tanker trucks. So he has to get inside the truck, and he sprained his back. He had an old injury and he sprained his back. He came in bent forward. Like he was looking at the ground. That's how stuck he was. Dude, we did some soft wave. We did a little bit release work and then some decompression. Dude walked out of there like nothing happened. It was awesome, man. It was like one of the coolest things. I wish I would have filmed the whole thing, but it was one of the coolest kind of turnarounds I've seen. Guy went from like 8 out of 10 pain to like 2 in one session. So, that's the stuff that's happening, man. It's all about how do we restore function to the body, right? And it starts with the spine. That's where your nervous system is. So really cool stuff. Right. So yeah, if you have any kind of, neuropathy, disc issues, pain, come on in. We'll fix you up.
AlessiFunctionalHealth.com. Book your appointment today. That's all we got right now. We'll see you on the other side. As always, live full fueled, live beyond limits, baby.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Full Fueled Podcast.
I'm going to set what the new normal looks like in my life.
You're not limited by your genetics.
You have a superpower that is lifting people up.
So unfortunately, most businesses aren't going to use the highest quality ingredients.
What's your approach?
He's jacked.
I know he's jacked. That's why I'm asking him.
I don't think he lifts.
Yeah. Consistency in everything that we do that really compounds. Only way we're going to get the word out is with you. Live full fueled, live beyond limits, baby.